So if you are on the market searching for the best skateboard gloves, I have here the Flatland Fingerless PRO glove, and this is a new generation, just came out last year, and I've been covering them, or basically I've been using them since they came out. I didn't want to do the review in that time because of the problems that the pros with the fingers they was giving to us. So let's just put out of the way the things that I don't like. So the first thing is the strap, and like you can see, it's quite long. I'll prefer something like this one. Like you can see, it stays in place and is not going around. The second one is the reflective part. You can see that is much bigger. This one is just this small line, but I'll prefer the position of this one, because on this one, when you are using jackets, it's completely covered. It doesn't make sense where it is. The other thing that I complain on these ones, and even on the pros with the fingers, is there is no protection to the hand on this part here. Flatland, if you can, change that, because it's going to make these gloves much better. So the first thing that I want to point it out that nobody is saying is the thickness of the material. So on the first generation, this material was really thin. On this one is already much thicker. If you live in cold countries like me, you can use these gloves in the winter. Obviously you are going to feel cold on your fingers, but not on your hand. And besides that, here you're going to have your wrist guard that we'll talk in a minute. Not having fingers protected, it's a disadvantage, but also a massive advantage. So in other words, you have to grab your phone, you have to send a message, see the GPS. It's much easier to have the sensation in what you need to do. So definitely something that I like. The other thing is obviously not having the wrist guards on the bottom and having just on the top. That will allows me to easily grab my phone or grabbing the remote control. Whatever is the remote that you are using, all of them, they will feel very comfortable on your hands. In opposite that, you have to put your wrist guards and put your gloves. You put just one pair of gloves and that's it. You've done everything in just one step. Another thing that I hate on wrist guards is how much your hands, they are locked in place. This one don't have any wrist guards, this one have. You can see that I can bend in the same way one and the other. But when I try to do in the opposite way, you see, I can't curve more than this. And I have to say to you guys, I fall recently at 40 kilometers per hour. Not that I wanted, but it happened. Nothing happens to my wrist. And even before, I had another accident, and the first thing that hit the floor was my wrist. And I went with all my body on top of it, and no pain, nothing. And why, for example, when we talk about electric unicycles, why I think that you that use gloves for motorbike, they are worse than this, because when you fall, and I fall at 40 kilometers per hour, the fingers here is the last part that you have to concern about it when you fall on electric unicycle or electric skateboards. The wrists are much more important, and those gloves, they don't have the wrist guards as this. But the benefits of this, they don't finish here. So when we look to the first generation to this one, we can see already some improvements, and one of them is here. The rubbers here, they was really small, and this was doing basically nothing there. Here now they are much bigger, so if you put side by side, you can see the difference. And when you fall, this is going to hit the floor and you are going to protect yourself. Another thing, I love this design here that gives some visibility, but in the same time, why is not reflective? The disadvantage of this is after a while, they start to fall off, like is happening here, because like I said to you guys, I've been using these gloves for more than 1 year. Also, the bottom is similar. You are going to find the Knox technology on the palm of your hand, so when you fall, you slide your hands, and this helps a lot to don't break your wrists. In the same way that this material here is thicker and protects against the weather, it's also here the material is thicker, so you will have gloves for a longer period of time, if it makes sense. But yeah, another thing just to point it out is the technology that you find here. So like I showed to you, this flexibility is because it allows you to curve, and like you can see, these parts, they are opening, but when you do in the opposite way, it doesn't curve at all. I would like to know if you know a better solution than the Flatland 3D. You think that is another one that is better than this? But if you want to know all the protective gear, I've done all the videos related with protections, and I'm going to bring other ones to the channel. My name is Marco, this is MedPack. If you love technology, don't forget to subscribe to the channel, comment below, smash the thumbs up, do whatever you want, but always with a smile on your face, and I hope to see you in the next one.